Hey everybody, Ron here. I wanted to record a video to talk about my Shadowdark Reflections. I've been running Shadowdark for about a year now in a two-player game titled Exile and Thief. I've shared about it before in the Shadowdark Facebook group. It's been a ton of fun. The players are up to 6th level now. Additionally, I've run Lost Citadel of the Scarlet Minotaur for a convention. And I've also played several solo sessions of Shadowdark because I like playing solo games. And I just wanted to talk about a few things that I enjoy about Shadowdark after really digging into the system for a little over a year now. First, I'm going to talk about the layout of the book. Both the layout of the quick start and the core book is very convenient with great use of the inside cover, as Professor Dundermaster loves to talk about. You have the basic gear and other stuff, and then you have the basic rules. So you don't have to go flipping through the book, find the basic rules. I mean, it's just great to have this. In case, I have a brain fart and I temporarily forget, I can just flip open the book and boom, there it is. So I love that. I love the fact that it's easy to read. The font makes it really easy to read, both the size and the font type. Kelsey did a really great job with that. And I just loved skimming through the book, just for leisure and for research as well as I do game prep or what have you. Speaking of prep, it is super easy for me to prep this game. I've been running variations of D&D since 1987, basically. There's some things that just don't change about D&D in the basic system. Shadowdark makes it easy for me to run those games. They don't add too much on top of it. And what they do add on top is very innovative stuff. The resolution system, there kind of is a skill system. And what I mean by this is you have a background and you have a class. Your background would apply certain aptitudes. Your class assume certain aptitudes. And when you have a background or class or whatever situation applies, you just roll for advantage. That gives you basically a 3 to 5 point swing on a D20 anyway, which is plenty. And then between the advantage, disadvantage system and the difficulty classes, I feel like that is more than enough variation to give people that want skills to make a difference, to give them something that's satisfying. You can make it easier for them to accomplish a task versus someone who isn't as skilled. You can either apply advantage or disadvantage, or you can make the DC easier or harder, or a combination of both to make it really, really hard or really, really easy. And I love that about Shadowdark, and I wish more games would do something like that. It's an elegant solution, so I'm not adding +1 here, +2 there all the time, and yet I'm still getting that satisfying result. Another thing I love about Shadowdark is the ease of conversion. It was very easy for me to run. I didn't run the Lost City. I ran Dwellers of the Forbidden City. And I thought, man, this is an old adventure. I'm going to have to do a ton of prep. I didn't have to. As a matter of fact, I did my conversion on the fly because Shadowdark is designed to be able to run games out of the book just like that. The only thing I really had to adjust was the treasure. So I just divided every gold rewards by 10, or I just went to the Shadowdark book and rolled on the table and got an appropriate reward. Either way it goes, it worked just fine. The players didn't know any different, and it made it super easy for me to run that. So it has reinvigorated my desire to go back and run the classics, things that I've never played, like Temple of Elemental Evil. I have the Goodman Games version, the giant 2-volume, like 800-page set or something, because it's such a large type font. I really want to run Temple of Elemental Evil. I know it's not the greatest adventure in the world structurally, but I really want to go and do that. And with Shadowdark, it's going to happen. It's not a matter of if, but it's when. And Shadowdark makes it so easy for me to do that. The torch timer. Now, here's something that I was not sold on initially, to be honest with you. But I thought, hey, you know what? Shadowdark is so rules light. It's easy to hack for to my taste. Maybe I'll use a usage die like I use in my Exile and Thief game. The torches use a usage die, which I got from Forbidden Lands. So I do that also with ammunition and everything like that. So I was thinking about going back to tracking ammo versus the usage die like I was doing with the guys in my Exile and Thief game, because it's so easy to track, because you only can carry so much stuff in Shadowdark because they don't allow you to carry tons and tons of stuff. And I absolutely love that. But back to the torch timer. The torch timer, I wasn't sold on, but running games with it now, and I absolutely love it. I can run an hour torch timer, or like in my convention one shot, I ran a 45-minute torch timer. Now thinking back on it, with a large group, I should have just went with a 30-minute torch timer. 45 minutes still just wasn't long enough for those guys because they were not used to it, and the torch did go out a couple of times, so that was nice. But anyway, the torch timer adds great tension. I love it. So, folks, if you haven't tried it, you have to try it. It's one of those rules that may read worse than it actually is, or rather, I should say, to put a more positive spin on it, it plays better than it actually reads. So, give it a try. Would I run games of Shadowdark in the future? I would absolutely run Shadowdark games in the future. As a matter of fact, I'm going to continue on running Exile and Thief. I hope those guys give me some goals so we can point towards an end game or something. Although this game is more of a sandboxy thing than what I typically run. But still, it would be nice to know what these guys' long-term goals is. I'm imagining this game, this is basically Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser and Conan. So I'm running Pulp Fantasy. And so I guess I want a Conan the King story. Not necessarily, but that's what I want. That's maybe not what the players want. And that's fine. I just got to settle with that. But I love Shadowdark. I love the system. I love the implied setting. I would love to have more games with this level of simplicity. For example, I want to run a TMNT game with a system with this level of simplicity. I have been looking back at both games as Vigilante City Into the Sewers, but maybe I will start with Vigilante City and Shadowdark it, basically simplify it to the point where it's like Shadowdark, because Into the Sewers is such a great supplement for Vigilante Cities, and it emulates the TMNT role-playing system and a D20 system great. So we'll see. I know other folks have done other hacks of Shadowdark, including, a dark space, science fiction stuff. So Shadowdark is an excellent system, folks. If you haven't tried it, please try it. Give it a shot once. Go to a convention, go to a game day, play the one shot, download Solo Dark, download the Quick Start, try it solo and see how you like it. If you're into fantasy games at all, give it a shot. And until next time, see you later.